Turn my headphones up. All right. It's 8:15 with the Trap Queen. 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 You know the vibes. Yeah, you know the vibes. What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content. And yes, we are here for episodes 3 and 4 of Force Season 1. These episodes actually, a little better than the first two. So I must admit, a little more entertained. Of course, Liliana is up in the mix a little more. So definitely wasn't as frustrating as watching episodes 1 and 2. All right. Let's see here. DeMarcus, Support Gaming, Mr. Jones, what's up? Thank you. Yes. Support Gaming, you said 8:15 ? It's 8:10. Are you talking about the date? You're a mess up. Support Gaming. DeMarcus, yes, I saw the trailer of season 2. It looks pretty good, so I'm definitely interested. I mean, there's nowhere to go but up. So I definitely have faith that we're going to do a little better with season 2. I'm just going to chalk it up to growing pains, okay? All right, thank you. So please make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to all the things for your girl as we, recap episodes 3 and 4. All right. So y'all, it starts off and Tommy looking at these bricks that he got from Liliana's crib. He was like, yeah, I'm going to take those, man. It's time to work. We're going to make some money, okay? Mind you, it's 10 whole bricks, all right? 10 bricks. Tommy's like, yeah, this is about 30K a brick. So we're looking at 300K at this point. But of course, when you start, cooking and, doing all the whipping and what have you, Arthur Stewart, up in there, you can expand that. The possibilities are endless, okay? And so he's asking her, like, yo, like, where you get these bricks from? She was like, well, I killed the guy before I was able to make out the accent. So she don't even really know where these bricks come from per se. And she's like, well, it's been weeks since I've had it. So anybody coming for it? He was like, bruh, this is 300K. Do you not think people are not gonna miss this money? You like, girl, you tripping. You ain't learned nothing for working with me and Ghost, okay? And I'm like, yeah, she was a little more entry level. I'm gonna give her that. But yeah, Liliana, you're a little too lax over there, still at 300K. I was just saying, girl. So, ciao. All right, so don't Marcus. But we gonna get there. All right. So we, switch over to the police station, okay? Vic is over there pulling the whole Harlem Nights, okay? He got 3 of his peoples up in the jail, all right? And it's about 95 of the 100 to get them out. He was like, all right. That ain't nothing but a word, all right? I was like, okay, we over here. So Siemens is outside, and he chops it up with Siemens right in front of the police station. Can we go to the back? Can we go to an alley? Can we go somewhere else other than the police of the station? Like, this is a little too lax for me. Like, what are y'all doing here? We're supposed to be incognito up in here, but y'all over here talking shop in front of the police station. He was like, yo, bro, like, you should have, like, tipped us on in regards to this little shakedown. Our people ain't supposed to be getting locked up. Like, why am I paying you and then turn around paying the police of the station $9,500? Like, it's either or. Either my people gonna be getting locked up or I'm paying you. Like, I can't do both. Like, that's not in the books. All right. The Flynn's over here struggling. Like, they one bad deal away from applying for the EBT. Like, we can't be over here playing around with this bread, Siemens. Like, you need to be on your job. But he was like, Vic, you got an alderman problem. You ain't got a police problem. So he lets us know, like, wrong department. Okay, please, you click 2 when you call. You need to click 1. All right. That is not my department. I was like, all right, Siemens, we gonna see. What's up, Big Whoop? Thank you for coming through. You feeling good? Just finished your new book, your profile pic. You see the cover page. Okay, so like a kind of like deck of cards. Let me know. It's a little small. I can't really see it. I think your girl need to go to the doctor. Support Gaming. What's up? You said the timeline on Power is messed up because Courtney Kemp claimed Power season 1 through 6 took place in 7 months apart, but Tariq age screwed up everything, and Liliana says it's been years since she saw Tommy. Did she specifically say years? I don't recall that, but yeah, Courtney Kemp explained, she originally wanted the kids to be older at first, but when she pretty much hired Notori Naughton, Notori looked too young to have kids that age, so they, lowered the original age she wanted Tariq and Raina, because I think she wanted them to start at age 15 or 16, but then she kind of dropped it down to like 12, 13. Then, we needed to rev up, the storyline eventually after like season 3, so they decided to kind of move up the kids' ages again. So yeah, you know how it is. I mean, I was trained on time jumps because I used to watch The Young and the Restless for grandma. Okay, so I already know how that go. I can see little Timmy in January 1st. Little Timmy, he born. All right, newborn baby. By summertime, little Timmy is in college. All right. I didn't understand that. That was too much. All right. Y'all be doing too much in Young and the Restless, General Hospital, all of that. But grandmama done schooled me. Okay, on the time jumps. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared on how that works. Okay. Big Wolf, you said 3-card Monty is maybe your book. Okay, let people know in the comments where they can get it. Definitely want to support. Okay. So y'all, we over here. We about to cook up some work. All right. What's up, Candy Love? Thank you for coming through, boo. So she, starts taking off some clothes, and she coming in. I was like, oh, Liliana, you snatched, honey. And Tommy looking like, you ain't even my type. Like, your hair color wrong, off rip, Liliana. You ain't doing it for me. And I'm like, Tommy, like, I don't know what you're talking about. You tripping. And mind you, Lala ain't even really have, Keisha ain't had no red hair. Like, she's giving like Keisha 2-3 shades, lighter. Like, what you doing? I don't know, Tommy. I think you set tripping. You being a little too picky because Liliana is that girl, all right? That would have been a fire couple. I'm never gonna lie. Definitely giving like Bonnie and Clyde all the way, all right? But she was like, no, fool. Don't you know anything about cooking? You cannot get the work on your clothes, all right? I don't think Biggie included that in the original 10 Crack Commandments. Maybe we needed to stick around for a part 2 to get the additional guidelines and bylaws of selling and cooking the work. But Lily done told us we can't get the work on our clothing, all right? Tommy was like, oh, okay, girl. She was like, dang, you've been in management way too long. You don't even know the cooking rules no more, boy. He was like, yeah, I ain't really. Tommy, low key, he probably ain't never really cooked like that. Just saying. That wasn't his ministry, all right? So she was like, well, is Ghost going to be, well, first she said, I don't F with white boys. So she already told you already she don't mess with white boys because they too much trouble. All right. And then she asked, hey, is Ghost coming here? Is he going to, chop it up with us? Once you get set up in Chicago, he was like, Ghost dead. And she was like, what? So, she was probably feeling away because Ghost spared her life. He's low-key like her hood guardian angel. So she was probably feeling away. And she immediately was like, did you do it? He was like, no, but I couldn't stop it either. And so this little picture at the very top, they had a little toast. They had to toast it up for Ghost. All right. I was like, all right. Shout out to you, Ghost. All right. Is Ghost really dead, y'all? I'm trolling. All right. So she over there cooking. We having a good old time. All right. And so, Lord, JP goes over to, sorry, not JP. Tommy goes over to JP house, well, grandmama house. And we, learn some more information about JP. So one, Tommy asks, hey, who's paying for grandma's hospital bills? Do she got some type of, what's going on? He was like, well, I don't know. We really were in her life for too long. And we just, by the time we re-entered her life, she was already in the home. So they don't really have a rapport. They didn't really know anything. But I'm like, if nobody else is coming to see her, JP, It never like behooved you to be like, let me check these records. I'm just curious, just in case they try to knock on my door asking me about a payment. I need to see who over there footing the bill. But there's some theories and speculations out there who may be paying the bill. So we just gonna have to stay tuned to that. But I was like, yeah, JP, you ain't nosy enough. But JP probably like, you know what, I'm broke enough. I ain't trying to worry about nobody else's finances. I'm gonna go ahead and watch Golden Girls or Grandma and keep it moving. All right. So I'm not even mad at JP. I ain't mad. But you know, they kind of bond a little bit because you know, we see like a little height chart that you know grandma set up and they realized, hey, they was never really at the house at the same time. I really want to go on a rant a little bit about grandma, but I'm gonna just keep it like I'm gonna just keep it cute and just move on. But we getting into JP and his debt, child. And between the restaurant, his dad Herman's hospital bills, and what he trying to do in life, his debt is $196,000. All right. Well, he put it down to the penny. He said $196,223. I said, well, damn, JP, you go to sleep with that number? But he probably been over there asking Jesus for help, because what they say, when you pray to God, you gotta be specific. So he probably was asking God about that amount for like 6 years now. So I don't blame you, JP, for knowing that amount. It's good to be on top of your finances, all right? But Tommy was like, oh Lord, that's a deep breath. That's a deep breath. Hey, Tamika, thank you for coming through. So I was like, but Tommy, you and Ghost was slipping millions of dollars at any point in time. Okay. Y'all at one point had a whole wall of money. This should be pocket change to you, Tommy. So I don't know why you tripping. But he was like, I'm gonna help you, bro. I'm gonna help you. And that was kind of interesting to me. Like, granted, Tommy is all about family, but he was just real on his eager beaver-ish when it came to like helping JP. I'm like, I'm just saying, this is a lot, okay? Like even me, for instance, you know, telling my auntie, I officially met my half brothers when I was grown. All right, I went off to help them fools like that at first. I'm like, I gotta get to know you because I know what our daddy is, okay? And he, you know, if y'all got his genes, I gotta keep y'all, you know, I gotta keep y'all at a distance. I'm just saying. I don't know what y'all into. I ain't about to be volunteering off rip. Shit. What y'all talk about? Hey, Queen, thank you for coming through. So, Jannard and Diamond, you know, they have a little brotherly moment. They over there playing the baseball and everything. And you can tell by this conversation that Diamond, I don't know, he's giving me like bougie drug dealer. Like, he over there acting like he ain't selling drugs because he's looking down on, you know, Jannard and some of his views when it comes to, you know, what he do with the drug money. And he was like, puppy break shorty, because that crib you saying that, them clothes you wearing, that's with the drug money, bro. Like, ain't no. We got to be uppity up in here. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, because he want to, you know, renovate and do all the nice things for the baseball field. And Jannard is on board. But Diamond, you could tell there's a lot of mental conflict going on with this young fella. You know, I know he's still institutionalized, but Diamond, I don't know. I just hope for season 2, we just get more character development. I do have like a little live I want to do like the week of the premiere, like a little, you know, I'm gonna call it the forced advice, you know, just a little advice that I need, you know, for season 2. I know it's already filmed and everything, but this is my little wish list that I need to bestow upon these people and these writers, because I have a request, okay? But we'll get to that another day. All right. Yes, support gaming. I was going to get into that. He said Jannard is like the Chicago version of Kane. All right. Big Wolf said Jannard super flooding. Yeah. I mean, I kind of, you know, I like Jannard's swag. He's like maybe top 6 when it comes to swag to me, because you know I love the fashion, what have you. DeMarcus, you said Diamond is a very traditional drug dealer like Walter Flint. Yeah, he's, I don't know. I want to say yes, but at the same time, his mindset, I don't know. But I get what you're saying, DeMarcus. I don't disagree. So, they're playing back, baseball, whatever, chopping because that's what they do. That's what they do. They play the sports. All right. So he was like, yo, bro, so you still ever with that white boy? He was like, well, I don't know why. Because, what I'm saying? Like, it's been real crazy around these streets since you started messing with him. He's like, well, I don't know. I'll let you know. He was like, well, I need to figure out what we're going to do because at the end of the day, I got this seat. And Diamond was like, I gave you this seat. So, of course, Jannard got upset, all right? Because he said he earned it. He earned it. Like, he ain't over there, playing around. He's like, I done kept us relevant for 15 or so years, bro. Like, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. All right. And he storms off, kind of like a little baby and just like leave the conversation. I was like, well, how Diamond gonna get home unless he drove? I mean, we got Uber, so I guess I'm gonna be quiet. But let me know. Now, this is a question I'm going to pose in a live I have going next week. But what do y'all feel about this dynamic? We have, of course, Diamond, who started the organization, of course, got locked up. And, of course, Jannard has to take over. But Jannard has been, let's say, the CEO for 15 years. So put a 1 in the chat if you think Diamond has a right to want to go back to the top spot. Or put a 2 if you think Jannard has the right to remain head, HNIC. Or put a 3 in the chat if you think they should kind of co-run this situation. I mean, that's really hard to do sometimes when it comes to these drug businesses because, the personalities be clashing. But let me know who y'all feel should be at the top spot at this point. Because I kind of toyed with the hierarchy in my head as well. Because I mean, if I've been running something for 15 years, baby boy, don't think you just gonna be coming back and running shit. Because at the end of the day, you ain't been out here in these streets, okay? You weren't with me shooting in the gym, all right? I probably was consulting you, the little calls, you can't be saying too much because the feds be listening and watching. But for the most part, Jannard was holding ish down. So I feel like, Diamond was kind of playing him to the left a little bit. I'm just saying, what's up, Jersey Rich? Big Wolf, you said they just looked soft to you. Support gaming 1, 2, and 3. Come on, bro. Pick one. Stop playing. DeMarcus, you said Jannard should be running the business. Yeah, that's definitely. Like I said, I'm in the middle, but I'm more so. It's hard because they both have qualities, and personality traits that are good to, bounce off of each other. So I feel like they need to really, truly have a partnership. Because, Jannard, he a little out there. Sometimes he needs somebody to reel him back in. But if I had to choose, I'm like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jannard it is. Okay, Diamond can be, his consigliere, what have you. Support gaming, you said, could Jannard take on Kane in a fight though? That's the real question. See, I'm going to have to watch the rest of the season because I'm like, do I really recall Jannard throwing? Well, no, we do know. Well, we're going to see later on the episode. He can give you some work. Kane, he's not really trained, so that's another situation. But Jannard can give you some work. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Big Wolf, you said neither of them. So who's going to run the business then, Big Wolf? Who's going to run the business? Did Tommy take over? Oh, Lord. So, child, it's a hot mess. So, Tommy, we over there messing with him and Liliana again. And he was like, you know what? We need to discuss the demographics and get this map going because New York and Chicago is totally different. Okay, Ghost and Tommy had the United Nations of drug dealers. Okay, they had the Haitians, they had the Jamaicans, they had the Black people, we had the white people, we had the Asian people, we had the Serbs, we had every which thing you can think of. Okay, because New York is a melting pot. You can't, you can sell drugs technically with your own race. But more than likely, like your plug, if you high up in the rank, it's going to be somebody that's not, Black. Okay. So Tommy was like, okay, we need to strategize, okay? Because y'all over here living in the 1950s of drug dealing over here in Chicago. Y'all all segregated. It's not cute. I hereby am going to embody Martin Luther the King, and I'm going to be Martin Luther King of the drug dealing, and I'm going to bring us together, okay? I had a dream that white drug dealers and black drug dealers can cook the crack together, okay? That's Tommy's little dream, okay? Martin Luther the King over here of the drug dealing business. And so Liliana was like, well, I don't know, it's gonna be a little rough, but I'm gonna follow the leader, all right? So the Flynns, they're pretty much over there trying to strategize, what they're gonna do with their little people that they have under the table, okay? Because we can't be having all these shakedowns and paying 95 of the 100, bailing our people out. So they have an alderman, on their take or what have you. So Walter low-key pimping, Claudia out. He was like, I need you to go ahead and meet with, Alderman McGuire. All right. And wear something sexy, okay? Take them to dinner and do what you do. I'm like, Walter, I mean, I know you're traditional and everything, but is there no other way? I'm just saying, we over here, slutting out Claudia now. I mean, yes, he just said dinner, but suppose she needed to give up some snatch to get the deal done. Would you be okay with that, Walter? He probably would, child. No raggedy behind. So, Vic, he buys Gloria's mom a new tombstone. It's decked out now. It definitely took some bands, okay? I don't know how I looked before, but I'm sure it's definitely an upgrade. She was like, oh my God, you did this for me? For me, he was like, yeah, I did that for you. All you, boo. All you, boo. And so she was like, oh, cool. Then he gonna switch it up and talk about, I saw you with him. I'm like, here go the stalker come out. Here the stalker come out. And she was like, oh, this why you did this? Because you jealous? He was like, no, that's temporary. I ain't tripping, boo. But what's up? Like, what's up with me and you? And she was like, well, you need to protect me. Long story short, she's like, bruh, put your big drawers on because I need you to start protecting me and stand up for me because your daddy cannot be ruining your life. Like, what's going on? Like, how old is Vic Flynn? Like, I need specific ages at this point. Like, it's giving me like mid to late 20s. I definitely don't see 30s. But if you over there 27, Vic, I'm gonna need you to get some balls because this is ridiculous. All right. So Tommy and Liliana, they meet up with Walter and Paulie. All right. And this was a good scene. Liliana and Paulie have a good, cute little exchange. He low-key flirting with her. And Liliana, this is one of the scenes where we really just see her charisma and how, her personality just coming out on the screen. I was just like, dang, why we had to do her like that? Anyhow, let me get it together. All right. So Walter wants to know the point of this meeting. All right. And at the end of the day, Tommy was like, I'm looking at money and I'm looking for the long haul. Okay. I need you to join me in this big deal to sell drugs citywide. Okay. Because Vic, he got the north side. Diamond has the south side. The Yardies have the east side. All right. So he was like, I got some good primo coke. He's like, I don't deal with the coke, Tommy. I deal with the pills. He said, we know you old-fashioned, old man, but it's time to diversify your portfolio, okay? I need you to get on this coke so we can all be making some money, all right? And he was like, well, I really don't know about this. Like, I'm predictable. I like to stick to what I know. Like, I don't know about this coke business. And he's like, bro, you need to get on this. Because you're missing out on money. I know you losing money over there. And I'm like, how everybody know that the Flynns are over there with a sinking ship? Like, did y'all publish that in the drug dealer, digest for the week? Like, I just want to understand, like, how all y'all know they business. Like, it doesn't make sense. But I guess drug dealers gossip. I don't know. But it's a hot ass mess. So after this particular scene, I guess, Walter summons Vic and Tommy to do a little drop to Colin. Okay, Colin is in his art gallery, and y'all already know, like, it's pretty much a minimum of one goofy ass scene per episode, all right? And this was the scene, okay? Colin's in his art gallery. He's thinking he's a DJ. Meanwhile, he got his bodyguard over there, and then he got this little young lady that he done gave too much drugs to, what have you. She rolling around halfway naked, asking what he gave her. He telling her, like, she doing too much. She a little lightweight. And so Tommy was like, see, I ain't got time for all this drama, okay? Long story short, things go awry. They end up killing Colin, and it's a hot ass mess, okay? So they got to report back to Walter, right? And so Walter was like, "This some bullshit. Y'all over here killing our co-workers. Like, this is not the plan. This was not the plan at all right?" So he was like, "You know what, Tommy? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and meet with Diamond and them, and we gonna figure something out." So he was like, "All right, cool. We can go ahead and meet up with Diamond and them." So of course, Tommy got the related message. So he goes to this boxing gym with Diamond. All right, Jannard's there, the whole crew pretty much there. All right, and so he was like, "Hey, I got a nice little sweet deal. Walter Flynn, he's trying to get in. We're on this coat, like we about to be making more money, more money, more money." All right. And so first Diamond was like, the white peoples really don't be effing with us like that. Like, are you sure? And so, Tommy, he pretty much confirmed. And so now Diamond is kind of considering it. And so Jannard was like, bro, no CBI business is getting done without my say so. Like, what are you talking about? So they have a little dispute. And they was like, all right, we just gonna fight it out. We gonna fight it out and figure it out. So they end up going into the ring. And it was serious, y'all. They was regular boxing at first. And then they started bringing in that MMA stuff. All right. And Tommy looking like, what the hell going on? Him and, Elijah got a little side bet going on. So it's a lot going on. All right. But I'm going to say in air quotes, Jannard lost. Okay. Because we're going to follow that up. But he was like, heavy is the head that wear the crown. So I hope you know what you're doing with that top spot, bruh. So Diamond at this point is, H and I C, and he tells Diamond to set it up. So I'm like, well, he tells Tommy to set it up. So I'm like, okay, we gonna see about this. All right. Support game, he said Jannard and Diamond, the Chicago Breeze, and Kane and Sean. Why you got me saying Breeze name? DeMarcus said Jannard was actually right in his situation. No, I definitely agree. Like, and I'm not mad because from his point of view, it's like, I've been running this thing for 15 years. You've been out for 15 minutes and you over here considering deals and not even asking me about it. Like, where they do that at? Like, he's really on his like big brother trip. And I'm not really feeling it now watching it. Now, at first, I was like more pro Diamond, when this first premiere, but now, watching it with a different lens, okay? Rewatching it, I'm like, okay, Jannard ain't tripping like I thought he was tripping, all right? DeMarcus said air quotes Jannard's cauliflower ear. Yeah, I thought they was going to touch on that a lot more last season, but maybe they'll do it, this upcoming season, okay? We kind of, configure what exactly happened, but whatever. All right. So Claudia, she has dinner, with the alderman or what have you. And, she dressing all sexy. She look real cute there at this little swanky restaurant. And he was like, yeah, pretty much yesterday's price is not today's price. Like, I need a raise. And she was like, bro, like, you ain't the only politician over here that, want a little extra bread. So what's up? So she's starting to threaten his daughter. She was like, yeah, I see your little daughter over here. She go to, Southern Charm School, and I would hate for her beautiful uniform to be covered in blood. And so, of course, when we start bringing the threats with the kids, it gets serious. All right. He was like, all right, I'm going to keep my rate the same. You ain't got to do all that. So now we done finished the deal. But I kind of like that. That's the one thing I did like about Claudia this episode. I was like, all right, Claudia, I see, figuring out a way to get the job done without having to put out and, putting that pee on the table. All right. So here's the Here's the whole meeting of the minds, okay? We have, Tommy moderating, okay, this whole deal with Diamond and Walter. All right, we over here in Gloria's bar. She over there taking a walk because she ain't allowed in the meeting in her own goddamn establishment. But anywho, so Tommy's like, "What's up? We gonna make this happen?" And of course, Walter just starts being wild, disrespectful. Okay, he's calling, Diamond. What did he call him? A black parasite. A black parasite. I was like, Walter, you doing a lot. But he's upset because he blames CBI for an attack that happened 20 years ago between Paulie and his wife Beth. And apparently he messed up her face or what have you. And Diamond was like, that wasn't even us. Okay, that wasn't us, but you thought it was us. And you killed 9 of my men. And he was like, well, I could kill 18 more. I was like, Walter, we doing a lot. And Diamond was like, yeah, because you thought it was us because, you think all black people look alike. I was like, see, this is a mess. So Walter pretty much sabotaged the whole deal. And I think he pretty much took the meeting to pretty let Tommy know, like, hey, you messing with the wrong city, okay? Like, we got history that you don't know nothing about and you're trying to do too damn much. And I agree. I'm like, Tommy, you trying to do too damn much. This ain't Queens, baby boy. Like, calm down. Calm the F down. But he don't want to listen. So Diamond leaves and, he was like, Diamond, I'm sorry. I didn't think he was going to go out like that. He was like, I already knew that. But it's all good. It's all good. All right. So Tommy leaves. And before he leaves, we see the feds watching. The feds over there taking photo of the graphs across the street. So they taking a pic of Tommy and it was like, oh, is that Walter Flynn's new guy? Like, we don't know. We need to investigate. So I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. But they look trash. Like, these cops look like they play around too much. Like, I know they're going to play a bigger part in season 2, but I'm like, y'all look kind of weak to me. All right. So Tommy, he peels off and we see, Claudia, okay, and her G-Wagon. And she pretty much, runs Tommy down and kind of stops him. And she was like, oh, I wanted to reintroduce myself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Claude. So she was like, bruh, yeah, you doing too much in my city. Like, what's up? And he was like, well, I'm just trying to, get what I feel like I can get. She was like, well, I got this drug, baby boy. This drug will knock your socks off. All right. It'll knock all the leather off your body. So what's up? And so he was like, well, that sounds kind of cute. So they kind of, had a little exchange, have my people, call your people, and we gonna see about this. So I was like, all right, this kind of cute. This is kind of cute. Jannard and Elijah, they kind of discuss Jannard throwing the fight. So I'm like, at first, for a long time, I didn't believe it. I'm like, Jannard, I don't know. Don't punches seem kind of real. Like, you saying you really threw that fight? But Elijah already knew. But I'm like, Elijah, you bet Tommy, so you lost $5,000 for nothing? Like, what we do that at? Like, okay, I guess we wanted to make it believable. But he was like, he threw the fight because he wanted, he wanted his brother to fail. And he gonna try to pretty much, do all he can to make his brother realize, like, no, it ain't all peaches and cream being top Negro, okay? You ain't really about that life no more. And so he was like, don't worry, because they all gonna end up coming back to me. I know the organization's gonna be split for a minute, but they gonna be coming back. They gonna be coming back, all right? And then, at the end of the episode, we see Claudia. She meet up with Mai, her little Asian boo. And, we get a little more information about this drug, okay? And apparently, it was failed 3 times with the FDA and the little trials or what have you, okay? Because apparently the chemical compound was too close to the cocaine, okay? It was supposed to be this diet drug, but it was too close to the coke. So, it was something that was pretty much scratched. So we know about that. And she wants to let Mai know, like, hey, I don't want my family involved. This is between me and you, okay? The freaky things that we do. It's just between me and you, baby. Hey, so yeah, it's just supposed to be something, her own deal alone, because we know Walter Flynn ain't going to be on that at all right? And so mine was like, all right, okay, boo. And then before the episode goes off, we see Glow and Tommy getting it in at the firehouse. All right. And I'm like, oh, it was real cute and sexy. I was like, okay, I am not mad at this at all. All right. Yes, welcome to my buzz saw. Yeah, she did say that. I believe she said that we're gonna get to that episode, but yeah, she said that when she was outside with the Tommy. All right. You won't be surprised. You won't be surprised if Claudia actually uses a bus in season 2. Child, we don't know. We don't know. Sport Gaming said Claudia is even crazier than Vic and Walter. Yeah, I'm still mad at her. Support Gaming, you said Gloria never loved Vic. She moved on to the next white boy she saw, and it happened to be Tommy. I do think she loved Vic, but you can love somebody, but just know realistically, it's probably never going to work out. She already know that he's under his daddy's thumb. And she was like, well, while he figured that out, I'm going to get my back broke. I can't be over here just all hot and bothered. You know, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. So I do think she did care for Vic, but Vic was too much under Walter's thumb. All right. So we move on to episode 4, right? And it's more the time. And Gloria and Tommy still getting it in. It was at it all night long. Bum, bum, bum. All right. All night long. They was doing it all night long, y'all. And so we see Elijah and Jannard. They over there at the barbershop. And, you know, Elijah, he got his head on a swivel. And Jannard's like, bro, calm down. Like, Diamond ain't nowhere near here. He was like, well, we got to be careful. We don't know. That's the OG. Like, he got respect out here in these streets, and we can't just be crossing him all willy-nilly. And Jannard was like, bruh, I don't care. This is rightfully mine. Like, I had a future. I gave up my life for him. I had plans to go to college. All right. And I was like, ooh, at this point, I was getting hella intrigued because I was like, oh, there's more to this story. There's more layers. So I'm like, okay, I'm liking where we going. I'm liking where we going. We need to develop this situation. So I'm like, I like this. I like this, writers. Okay. I like stuff like that. So Claudia meet up with Reggie. It's like a little family associate, if you will, you know, nice little Puerto Rican cat. And she was like, I got a new drug. You want to test? So he tested. He was like, oh, yes. Get the briefcase. Here's my prepayment, ma'am. You can have this. And so, you know, she was like, well, keep this between me and you. You know, my daddies be set tripping. So this is definitely between us. Like, mano y mano. All right. Mano y mano. Yes, Elijah was very loyal to Jannard DeMarcus. So Vic, Tommy, and Diamond, they pretty much meet at this diner. You know, this scene was funny. The owners of the diner was definitely hilarious. I like the scene. But long story short, we pretty much start, you know, collaborating and, you know, try to work together. Okay. At first, they wasn't feeling Vic. They was like, oh, daddy let you out to play. He let you out to play. He was like, don't worry about it. I'm my own man. I'm independent. Okay. Y'all already knew what Boosie done told y'all. Okay. I'm independent. So, yes, let's make this happen. So they was like, all right, we're going to give it a little test run. So they try to meet up with the Yardies. They have the east side on lock, okay? And they waiting, and he late. So they're like, dang, what's going on? Next thing we see, Elijah gives, you know, Diamond a call like, bruh, the cops is on their way. I heard them on the scanners. You need to get out of there, right? And so next thing we see is some sirens and then like a little pickup truck with a bunch of boys is hanging out making noise and doing too much. So at first, I didn't put 2 and 2 together when I first watched this. But previously, when Jannard and Elijah was in the barbershop, D-Mac came over. And so he asked D-Mac, hey, I need you to round up some smart little young bucks like yourself. Okay. And I got a little assignment for y'all. So I'm like, okay, this is the assignment. So we're going to see how Jannard's brain is working, okay? Because Diamond goes back to the barbershop and Diamond, you know, was, you know, kind of, you know, getting them a gist of, you know, what happened with the deal. And so Elijah was like, see, if it wasn't for me on them scanners, your behind would have been locked up again, shorty, okay, doing life. Jannard was like, see, Now, it ain't as easy as you thought it was, bro, but wasn't it easy? And Diamond was like, all right, yeah, thank you, but I'm still HNIC. And so Janara was like, bruh, ever since Tommy, this white boy, came into town, you over here acting crazy. Like you don't really know what's going on. Like you ain't loyal. So he gives the Diamond pretty much an ultimatum. Was like, hey, it's either that white boy or me. What you choosing? What you choosing? So he leave, and I guess give him a little time to figure it out. And so, we get this little scene with Diamond with this perplexed, facial expression, like he's pensive, and just trying to figure life out, like a little, that I be doing on the soap operas and the drama shows and everything. All right. So we see Liliana doing recon on Claudia because Tommy, tasked her with following Claudia up since, she ran him down the street the other day. All right. And I like Tommy. This shows Tommy is, thinking a few steps ahead. It's kind of giving me, when Michael was, doing recon, where Snoop gave him that little assignment, to kill somebody. Like, you always got to do your research. All right. Before you get into business and with bed with people, literally before you get into the bed with people. Y'all hear me out there? I'm just saying, if watching Magic and Winning Time ain't telling y'all and teaching y'all nothing, y'all need to be listening, all right? That was my PSA for the moment, you guys. All right, so we see Paulie over here in like the Skid Row looking situation. I'm like, Paulie, what you doing over here with these homeless people and these addicts? Apparently, one of the addicts is his son, Andre. Andre is strung the F out. But he still loved them, and he still brought him some food and, some little clothes or what have you, all right? And so, he, of course, Andre, asking for money. He was like, no, I'm going to need you to clean yourself up before we give you anything. And you could tell, Paulie has tried numerous times to help him out, but he's probably at his wit's end at this point. But I do feel like this story is going to develop. I do like the fact that Paulie has like a little side story too. So I'm definitely interested in what that's going to take us in season 2 if they decide to still, discover this. All right. So Claudia meets up with the chemist, and she's kind of acting all snooty, what have you, acting like she don't know why she was there. So long story short, they are kind of like propositioning her like, hey, come on over to the dark side, okay? We got some dirt on you. So you need to pretty much work with us or we gonna snitch, all right? We gonna tell and we gonna tattle on that ass if you not gonna, come through and cook up this work for us, all right? I'm just saying. So she was like, she looked a little scared, but what options do we have here, all right? Oh, Lord. So after the failed attempt to meet with the Yardies, okay, Vic asked Tommy, hey, let's go and get a little drink real quick. Let's get a little drink. He was like, I ain't got time for that. He was like, bruh, it's on the way. So Tommy, not realizing that, he drops Vic off at Glow's bar. He was like, nah, I'm good. Vic was like, I know about y'all. I know. But don't worry. It's temporary. It's just temporary. And Tommy was like, bro, I don't really want no problems. Vic was like, I don't want no problems either, okay? Because I don't want to have my head in the swivel thinking it's going to be some static because you're over there banging my chick. And Tommy was like, well, you cool with it? Like, you like to watch? Like, you freaky? Like, what's going on? And I'm like asking the same thing. I'm like, Vic, you freaky? Like, what we doing? What we doing is definitely giving, him and his brothers over here. Like, we already know these drug dealers be kinky. All right. So he was like, no, I just don't want no problems. Tommy was like, I'm about business. Okay. So don't worry about me. So, Lord, Tommy and Glow have a conversation in the bar. So he pretty much, insinuates like, hey, we can't really be rocking like that. And he tells her, like, I'm going to find another bar from now on. All right, pretty much saying like, I can't knock your boots off anymore because business comes first. All right. And I'm like, I respect the grind and the hustle, Tommy. She was like, I understand. Okay. He was like, well, thank you for welcoming me to Chicago. She was like, anytime, boo. What's up, Jacoby? Thank you for coming through. So Walter gets word what Vic been doing. And he was like, you over there messing with the Negroids and that renegade Tommy? what are we doing here? Like, this is not what I'm asking you to do. Like, you playing around. And Vic was like, I'm trying to get my independence. I was listening to Webby back on the way here, and he told me I need to be independent. He was like, no, you not that, bruh. Like, I give you this life. You don't have nothing unless I give it to you. So I need you to get your act right. And I'm like, Vic, see, you might as well just go on Indeed.com and just apply for a job so you could be with Gloria and get off of Daddy's thumb. I'm sorry, you just won't have to do that. All right. So when Tommy leaves the bar from Glow, him and Walter have a little conversation because Walt's about to walk in. And he was like, oh, I hear there's a little storm coming with you and your little sidekick. So Tommy like, dang, what the hell going on? Like, I wasn't watching the weather, but okay, mental note. All right. He was like, yeah, I heard you was over there playing around with my son. I'm gonna need you to back off. Don't get him in none of your BS. He was like, well, did you ever think that I'm trying to elevate your son? I'm trying to get him in his game up. Have you ever thought of that? And so Walter was like, shite. He got me there. And he ain't say it out loud, but I know that's probably what he's thinking. All right. So Liliana, she just clocked out because she was cooking at work all day. She at the house. Next thing we see, she pretty much get kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped, but because, they stayed in her house. But, she get attacked by these guys. And they was torturing the F out of my girl. They had little cigarettes over there trying to burn her. I'm like, oh, this is too much. This is too much. I mean, she's a lady. Don't you have no respect for the ladies? I'm just saying. Oh, Lord, it's too much. But Tommy's over there, JP, well, it was grandma's house. JP, I don't know. JP, is your stuff, your name on the paperwork? I need to check and see if his name was on the paperwork. Like, was you on the deed? Because you over there just took over grandmama's house like nobody else is going to claim it. But I guess he says I'm the only one visiting her as that I have the right to go ahead and take this house. Okay. But Tommy, he meets JP's dad, and it's a nice little scene, nice little conversation. He's explaining, how he raised JP, and he want to, pretty much vet Tommy and make sure Tommy ain't over there going to cause no drama with JP. And Tommy was like, well, JP got enough of his drama on his own. And don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to swindle my man. I'm trying to get used to having this brother situation too. All right. And he was like, dang, well, Kate did raise you. How effed up are you, boy? He was like, well, I'm pretty effed up. I'm pretty effed up. But meanwhile, he get a little text from Liliana. And it's the address. And she says, bring ghosts. So he was like, oh, snap. Bring ghosts. And I was like, what the hell is she talking about? We got to bring his ashes? Like, what we doing? I was a little confused for a minute. So Seamus pulls over Vic, all right? So we find out, Seamus, he's slacking on the job again because we saw him on the scene with the little failed meetup with the Yardies. So he's upset with Vic. He don't want Vic messing around with CBI because I'm sure Daddy done told Seamus like, hey, make sure my son over there not messing with no other races over here because we racist, all right? And we learned that Seamus have a little situation with his sister. We don't get too much detail, but we have to, of course, note that, all right? And he's threatening him a little bit, We may have to, fire you. You may need to be on Indeed over there, too, if you stop playing with me and costing me money, Seamus, all right? Oh, that's the most annoying cop ever in the Power universe. I lie. I ain't going to say that. I just thought about two other annoying cops. So I'm gonna nip that in the bud, okay? Just forget I ever said that. So, child, we over there in the car. Lily over here. We waiting on what she says is her connect. Because she told them, I'm going to give you y'all drugs. So they waiting on the person that got the drugs. Okay, she got 3 other dudes in the car. All right. So he was like, man, he taking too long. Let me see your phone. So he looked at her last text message. He was like, who is Ghost? Next thing we see, pow, 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 Tommy over there with the blicky, just going crazy. He killed 2 of them. Lily killed the biggest one, chopped them up with all up in the neck. I'm like, God damn, Lily, that was low-key thug life. I like that, okay? They done killed all 3 of y'all. All 3 of y'all real quick, okay? So they end up pushing their little vehicle, okay? Their little vehicle in the water, all right? So we learned that these are some Serbs, all right? And Tommy was like, oh, we done effed up now. We done effed up now. Like, did you not realize who you was getting these drugs from? You done stole money from the Serbs. Oh, Lord Jesus. And we see Tatiana, she come in town in style in the helicopter, looking at Lily's pictures, like all this drama from one little girl. One little girl. I'm like, oh Lord. And I ain't gonna lie, at first, when we first saw her, when this show originally premiered, she looked familiar, but I couldn't quite place her. And I'm glad I'm doing the Power Rewatch on Wednesdays at 8:15, because now I'm like, oh, okay, now I know the pivotal piece that she played in the original Power. All right. So Tommy goes to the barbershop and he asked Diamond and them to babysit Liliana while he chop it up with Diamond. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go downstairs. And ask Jannard. Jannard come upstairs. He was like, oh, hell no, get the fuck out of here with Scarface. Jannard, I swear, he gives me Kane vibes as well when he has those one-liners. Like, he be cracking me up. Now, in the previous, scenes, Liliana has stated that she had history with CBI. Okay, she used to cook for them, but Jannard was trying to F her the whole time, and he ended up stiffing her out of 8K. All right, so, child, Jannard was like, get the F out of here with Scarface. DeMarcus, you said Liliana and Tommy pushed the car in the river like Effie did with Lauren. Yeah, I just hope nobody came through walking their dumbass dog at 11 p.m. But at least they was dead before we did it. So a little more due diligence on Tommy and Liliana's part. DeMarcus said, I hope we get a scene with Herman and Kate. So yeah, that's my wish list. I said this before. I want to see a whole Tahana-like dinner. I want to see Kate, Herman, Tommy, JPA. I want D-Matt. I want it all there. I want all the drama. Okay, please and thank you, Power Writers. I need that in my life. I'm just really curious of how the dynamic between JP and Kate's going to be. I do feel like it's a possibility that we may see a little bit of jealousy out of Tommy, because I feel like, how parents are when they don't do their first child right. They try to do right by either the last kids or their grandkids. So I do feel like she's probably going to be a better mother and grandmother to JP and Z-Back. So I'm curious as to if that happens, if Tommy may get a little jealous of that, and maybe if that will cause a rift. I'm probably reaching, speculating, but I kind of thought that, before, like, how was Kate going to, because we already saw them boxes in Kate's house in book 2. And I don't know. I see Tasha. I think we see two bad. And there was another person I did see that's supposed to be on the cast. And I wanted to know more about it. But I'm going to do a little, pre-season events or live before premiere. So we're gonna talk about that later. Yes, we're gonna get to that. So Tommy and Diamond, they go ahead outside and get their Jill Scott on. They taking a long walk, and pretty much Diamond is educating and updating Tommy on the Serbs organization. Tommy ain't really F with them in a while, so he need to know who the F is in charge. So Diamond was like, well, Merkovich is in charge right now, and if they call him, it's a problem, okay? And he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna need your help. We gonna go ahead and set this up so we can break free of this Serb bull-ish. And he was like, well, what's your plan? He was like, well, I think we can get Vic and we can figure it out. He was like, think, no. When we coming through the Serbs, we need to come correct. Like, ain't no thinking, no speculating. We have to have a clear, foolproof plan before we try to do a war. Like, I don't know about this. He was like, I know, I respect you for calling in this marker. I know I owe you one, Tommy, but not this one. Not this one, bro. Like, I can't do it. And I was like, I don't know. What would y'all do if y'all was Diamond? Because some people don't even get that chance to be like, nah, bro. Like, no, I'm killing you or you gonna help me. Like, what's up, bro? Meanwhile, while they over there getting their Jill Scott on, Liliana and Jannard over there in the basement of the of the barbershop, and he's pretty much trying to get some information. He was like, did Tommy give you that scar? She was like, no, but he responsible for it. He was like, and you still rocking with the dude? She was like, yeah, like I follow the money. And she was like, okay, well, is that all? He was like, I'm gonna give you, I'll pay you 10K to murk this fool. She was like, hell no. Hell no, you owe me 8K. And he was like, I love that scar. That scar pretty fire. She was like, pay me my money back and I'll let you touch it. I was like, ooh, this getting spicy, okay? And then he over there on his iPad and he also over there snorting coke. So I'm like, okay, we learning more and more about Jannard, all right? And so Tommy comes back and, picks her back up like she was at the goddamn daycare. And he pays her, Jannard pays for the 8K and he kisses the scar in the most sensual drug dealer way. It was kind of cute. Like I could really see the writers trying to have like a little love scene, in this place, but that wasn't in her contract. All right. So we see Marshall and D-Mac. They attempt to really like literally lit JP's little bar. But JP came out in the mid-nick of time on his Joe Clark and like, y'all, what is y'all doing? Y'all always trying to mess up my stuff. What is going on here in my establishment? So your boy Marshall, he was really about to put a hurting and low-key shoot JP, but D-Mac kind of distracted him and prevented him from doing so. And he just stood there and you could tell he was begging for JP to like recognize him. He's like, boom, this face right here, like this face, do you not bruh, come on. This face right here. This don't look familiar. Do we need to go on Maury for real? Like, bruh, I am your son. You is my daddy. You is the pappy. Like, bruh, like he was really, you could tell it was sad and funny at the same time. I was like, bruh, he not recognizing you. Just go home. Go home, D-Mac. Go home, D-Mac. What's up, Brixie Tut? Thank you for coming through. I hope you're having a good evening. It was hilarious to me, but I know, the thug tears is trying to come out of D-Mac, all right? Oh, Lord. So, child, it's a hot mess. So, we have this whole meetup with Tatiana, okay? So, Tommy, gives her the drugs back. And she was like, okay, where Liliana? Like, this ain't getting even at all. He was like, don't worry about all that. Here's your drugs. Carry on your way. All right. And so she started asking him about Jason. Like, what happened to Jason? He was like, bruh, that's neither here nor there. Take your drugs and get the F on. All right. And she was like, no. You done killed 4 of my men. Okay. We not even on the board yet. We need something to satisfy us. So I was like, well, you might as well go into the corner store and get you a Snicker, girl, because you ain't getting no satisfaction right here. Okay. Not today. All right. And so she tried to get slick. Was like, well, I wonder what New Yorker feel if they know you were in Chicago. Okay. And he was like, she was like, what if I kill you? And so next thing we see, Vic, he over there on his sniper game, and he over there in the back, he done killed 2 of them, pound. Tatiana looking stupid, looking real dumb. And Tommy was like, well, we 6-0 right now, baby boo. What you gonna do? She was like, dang, I saved your life. I got Jason to spare you. I could have pretty much let you die, but I saved your life. He was like, well, you shouldn't have been mentioning New York or Chicago. So he stabs her. And she dies, and he takes the drugs. He was like, you should have never mentioned New York. I'm like, all right, Tommy, that dramatics it is, okay? Being very much dramatic. But yes, y'all, that was pretty much episodes 3 and 4. It was pretty good. These were the 2 very entertaining episodes. We're gonna be on the lookout for episodes 5 and 6 next Thursday. So tomorrow, please stay tuned for the Pretty Thorough podcast with Willow and I. I'm excited. We're gonna be discussing the whole the Birmingham situation. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of Tory Lanez and some other things. Okay, so please stay tuned tomorrow at 8:10. Monday, part 3 of Team Toxic conference. So that's gonna be popping and winning time. So I got 2 shows on Monday. Next Wednesday, episode 505. And we back here on Thursday. So I'm coming with y'all almost every day in August. So please do me a favor. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to all the things to support me, because I'm over here in y'all face, giving y'all this hard work. All right. But I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Thank you, DeMarcus. I appreciate you giving your thanks. All right. Really, really do. And yeah, I do have some extra Force content coming up because we got to prepare for the season. And I'll be coming with my trap church covering for Sunday mornings at 11 like I normally do. All right. But yes, enjoy the rest of y'all evening, and I will see y'all back at the trap tomorrow. Toodles.